Virgin Island episode 3 thoughts. Now, I'm aware most of you or all of you have watched all the episodes, and if you have, join in the chat anyway. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, what did we learn from episode 3 of this show? Well, for me, I liked that they were telling stories about their past dating experiences. For me, I believe it's important that we're open about such things, because as a general public, we're not really open about what's happened to us in the past. We prefer to keep that locked in within ourselves. But looking at the way they did it shines a light on how refreshing it is for people to be open about what's bothered them in the past. But is it me, or are certain scenes in the show like very male orientated? Like, for me, like, it just seems to be more about the men rather than women. Like, the men get more scenes than the woman, and that's something that just doesn't sit right with me, because both genders should get equal viewing times, and yet it seems to be more about men than women, and for me, I don't like that, because it reinforces the supposed stereotype that men are just about sex, and that's just not true. I mean, whilst that may be the case in the general public, for me, I like to think much bigger than that. Yeah, very quickly, the lovemaking scenes, yeah, I'm still very much weirded out by that. But I'm not going to talk about that anymore, so moving swiftly on. One of the scenes that I liked was the dating exercises. Like, as awkward as they were, I believe that for them, it kind of gave them an insight into having the confidence of going out to date. As well, where with some of them just disliked the whole idea of dating, maybe because last time they went out on a date, it just didn't go well, or maybe they've never dated in their whole lives. So for me, I liked that dating exercises between the people. You know, one thing I didn't like about that dating exercise was Zach kissing Emma's hand. Like, for me, that was just a bit too forward. Like, you barely know the person. Like, nah, that's just like kissing someone's hands and you barely know them. So, I'm sorry, but for me, I know the internet uses this phrase a lot, but that's a red flag for me. Like, at least get to know the person first. Like, you know what I mean? Rather than just diving straight in. Like, that for me was just a strange thing to do. Yeah, it's just really weird. One scenario I found sad was Ben being rejected by the group during the I think it was the dating exercise or something like that. I mean, Ben was already struggling with his confidence, and then when a dating exercise came in, like, nobody else wanted to do it with him. So I just felt for him in that instance. Like, imagine, like, you want to build your confidence up, and then get you rejected. So you're like, ugh, like that's how Ben felt, and I felt for him in that instance. Like, ugh, I mean, it couldn't get any worse than that, could it? Honestly, it could not get any worse than that. Like, I really hope that Ben picks up his confidence later in the series. Well, I say later in the series, but it's already come and gone. But I'm a couple of episodes behind, but it is what it is. One of my favorite people from this series is Emma. Now, Emma looks like the type of character that I would just casually talk to. Like, I bet you she's a nice person. Like, she seems like the type of character who needs confidence in herself. Because looking at her, she's that type of person who's had her confidence chopped down many times. Like, and she's not the only one on the show, but for me, she seems like really quiet, and she doesn't get a lot of scenes in that show. So I'd like her to come out of her shell a bit more as the series progresses. Now, another scene I liked was Sam and Taylor talking to each other. They were conversing about each other, like just having a general talk, and that's something I like to see. Like, I know it's that type of show where it's about getting into relationships and all that, but you don't have to be really forward about it. Like, just talk to each other like normally. Like as you saw with Zach kissing Emma's hand, like, nah, it's just too forward for me. Like, speaking of being forward, like, some of them are just there for, like, for sex. And I just think to myself, like, it's just, like, I know that's the name of the show, Virgin Island, but it's just, some of them are just a bit weird to me. Like, I don't know. But looking at what goes on camera, I'd really like to see a behind the scenes type of thing. Like, Channel 4, could you please at least show us what goes on behind the scenes of that show? Because for me, that's something I would be interested in, and I'm sure other people would be interested in that also. Right, two more things. There seems to be like a friendship between Emma and Viraj growing, and that's something I like. Like, I like seeing two people who are completely different to each other striking up a friendship. Like, look, it looks to be nothing more than just a friendship, and that's what I like, because that's what Ben was looking for in Charlotte, but Charlotte wasn't interested, which is fair from Charlotte, because she didn't want to be with Ben in a like relationship, but just a friendship. Like, and that to me seems like one of the problems. Like, I think Ben thinks every time that he meets a woman, he has to strike up a relationship with them, but that's not the case at all. Like, just strike up a friendship with a woman like you would do with any other person. You know what I mean? But yeah, the friendship with Emma and Viraj, I really did like that. Right, one more thing. I found it funny where watching Ben saying it would be scary to see each other naked, and lo and behold, when you look at the cliffhanger of that show, it shows people being naked. Now, it's like Ben got egg on his face in that respect. Like, he was saying like, I hope we don't see each other naked after. And then the next episode shows them getting naked. It's like, ugh, like, this is just the worst. Like, honestly, like, and I bet you some of them would be like, I think I mentioned this on the last video. Like, if you recall, like, Danny Dyer on a show many years ago about football hooliganism, and he says, like, what have I gotten myself into? I am literally cacking myself. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did mention that on the last video, actually. So yeah, like, most of them would have felt like that. Like, what have I gotten myself into? Like, what's going on? But that's just my thoughts on episode 3 of Virgin Island. Let me know what you think. Like, how far are you into the series? Like, have you been watching all of them, or have you gotten yourself into a position where you're like, nah, it's just too full on for me. I can't be bothered anymore. Like, so let me know your thoughts on the show. If you've watched 2-3 episodes, or even you've watched all of them, let's join the chat. Yes, I've just realised that my thoughts on episode 2 of Virgin Island failed to upload. So what I'll do is I'll upload episode 3 today, and then episode 2 will go out probably next week. Yeah, it's in the wrong order, but it is what it is. We live to fight another day.